Greetings and salutations, my fellow DMs, GMs, referees, judges, game operation directors, and all the other varieties of storytellers. This is your DM, Bill, and it's time for another DM Quick Tip. This week we're talking about catering your players the curious. Now, curiosity may have killed the cat, but the player characters are fairly safe as long as they have skills, tools, and possibly even magic to find the elusive answers. Now let us consider the topic at hand. This compulsion to discern as much as possible is not restricted to any one character class, or for that matter, any one player style. Gamers are an inquisitive lot in general. There are those with the drive to wring the smallest detail from each and every encounter. No matter what the game system is or the genre being played, the player is most often looking to advance the character with newly found skills, items, magic, and most importantly, experience points. The curious will often be at the forefront of the quest for character advancement, and if you're lucky, the rest of the gaming table will follow in kind. There are a variety of classes that will easily fall into the curious category. The Ranger from D&D comes to mind as they seek out information about a particular monster that's terrorizing the nighttime respite of the nearby hamlet, trying to discern where the creature is resting during the daytime, how it's traveling to and fro, and are there more than one. The Rogue or Thief, in any campaign setting, can be one of the most curious, as they're trying to find out everything they can about a potential target. What are the target's habits and common movements? The sponsoring organization for the thief has centered an establishment that is being cased out for future endeavors. Are guards present? How many? How often are the shifts changed? Or do they? What lies behind the fortified walls? Let's not forget about several magic-using and spell-casting classes across numerous campaign settings. They need to research spell components, magic items, tomes, and scrolls. Through study and queries, they seek to expand their mastery, even trying to find a weakness in the power greater than theirs. The questions never seem to cease from these player characters. So how do we keep these particular characters, and more importantly, players, engaged in questioning what's going on in the game, all the while piquing and nurturing that curious nature? Let's give our curious adventurers something to look for and find. Dangling the presence of a mystical weapon or supernatural implement of protection proves to be very effective as a hook. The hint of a great treasure with a map or a prop that is only a trinket compared to the whole draws in the curious as well. Most importantly, you're going to want to provide descriptive environments. Let the player characters take in the nuances of all the things they perceive. Now, concerning the party's surroundings, sayings like, you walk into a room, it has a chest and a bookcase, leaves a lot to be desired. Let's try something a little different. As a DM, I'm sure you have developed a signal or voice that tells all the scene has begun. The door opens. You gaze through the smoke, greenish in color. The smoke streams from the burning brazier that hangs in the center of the room. There's just enough light from the brazier for you to see. Vaguely, you make out a bookcase, a chest along the wall across the small room. Nothing else can be discerned from your present position. As the smoke spills into the hallway, the smell of cinnamon mixed with smelted metals leaves an acrid taste in the back of your tongue. Sounds of scratching on wood floor, perhaps even gnawing on wood walls, can barely be heard above the din created by the group entering the enclosed space. But from where does this sound originate? Descriptions like this could trigger questions that the curious nature character player may not have realized they wanted to know. Be prepared to have a detailed vision yourself. Once you have visualized the scene, it will be much easier to describe it to the players. Then, creatively placing the information to be passed on will be easier, ensuring it fits into the plot line and overall progression of your scenario, provided any information needs to be here in the first place. And here comes the fun part. Now that you have sprinkled the scene with the needed clues, hints, or items that the party or individual actually doing the looking may need to have, let's make it complicated. Adding unrelated information or items is an entertaining way to see if they can figure out if they're on the right track. Not every puzzle piece belongs to the puzzle the player characters are working on. In an urban environment, having an NPC in possession of the clue usually provided ample opportunity for role play. The curious most often will prefer to glean desired information during conversation. It's always more fulfilling when they actually speak to an individual in a character than just having it described to them. Either way, this can be an actual item sought after or information to conclude the encounter. But in most cases, it's just the next link in a very carefully strung chain of happenstances and occurrences. Hopefully, and eventually leading to the big bad and an epic conclusion. It all boils down to the curious player characters are going to have plenty of questions about everything that may influence the player character's decisions and advancement. As you write the encounter, put yourself in the player character's position. What do all my senses tell me? Now, start taking notes. A fair amount of preparation, mixed with a touch of foresight, should handle the vast majority of inquiries and keep the curious informed. These are just a few suggestions from the old man. And that's this week's DM Quick Tip. I'm DM Bill. See you next time in the dojo.